Good evening, Thrones fans. Welcome back to the 8 Regents of Westeros. We have Baratheon versus Stark, the last game in the series. Stark are already through with 4 victories to 2, so this is kind of a dead rubber. So expect 2 players getting rid of their worst agendas. Definitely going to happen, right? Can't imagine them playing anything good. So let's see what they have. Ready to go? Yep, they're ready to go. Let's fight! Rebecca will be joining me. Maybe. Baby's refusing to sleep, so she's temporarily delayed. Right, Stark the White Book versus Baratheon Valyrian Steel. So it looks like Pavel playing a pretty strong deck. So definitely not throwing away an agenda to improve the team performance in the next couple of games, but instead playing for a strong finish. Gerald taking a hit for the team. He's taken a bad agenda. So Baratheon Valyrian Steel is the deck that Bing Uyang has played in the World Championship and was the runner-up. I wonder if it is exactly the same deck with Makak changes. He got a 5-card setup, which is really nice. 2 economic locations, Dormland Fiefdom, Rose Road, along with Shira Errol and the Dragonstone Faithful with a card in the shadows. Gerald has Northern Armory, 2 Reducer Chuds and Catelyn Stark. Not looking very white booky at the moment with all those 3 characters and not having a military icon. Going to be interesting. So to open up we have Bran the Builder and we have Late Summer Feast. So Bran the Builder can get a lot of locations here. I think it does have quite a few one-of locations such as Dragonstone Castle. The Black Cells is the 2 of, and with a card in shadow which may or may not be the Black Cells. Could have some fuel for that particular location. A nice element for control. Don't know a lot about Stark White Book, no idea what it's going to do. Could be a White Book deck in disguise, i.e. just Stark stuff with the agenda. In terms of King and Queen, there's a King attachment, the Wolf King, there's a King Rob and a Queen Jane Westerling, but I believe that is about it. I can see a baby on the monitor in the cot, but no Rebecca. There's no Rebecca here. What could she be doing? Is she avoiding her streaming duties? Alright, Gerald is first, collects 10 gold. So he has 12 resources available to him for Stark cards. Less if he wants a non-Stark. Got a really annoying cough at the moment. Maybe I should do a COVID test. That's a good idea. Do that tomorrow before I go to work. What are we expecting here? I'm definitely expecting to see some big military icons hit the board. So just to recap the White Book agenda. Non-loyal Kingsguard characters from any faction can be in Gerald's deck. He must have at least 7 different Kingsguard characters. Also, after you win a challenge, kneel your faction cards down each defending Kingsguard character you control, each participating Kingsguard character you control if you control a king or a queen. And we have King Rob hitting the board and ice on him. Okay. That's a statement of intent. I was just going to say I don't expect much more than the 7 different Kingsguard characters in the deck, simply because the presence of Northern Armories and the Stark Reducer Chuds sort of imply there's going to be a number of Stark characters in the deck. And Stark aren't normally a faction that like to proliferate many different types of banner characters in their decks either. And that's all we've got. Gerald sits on 2 gold, so So he played Rob and Ice. Now, let's recap this Rob. Renowned during military challenges, he gets +1 strength for each loyal character you control. So he will get +2 because he counts himself. So 7 strength during military challenges. But he will go to 9 because the extra text. And power challenges, obviously, he is 7 strength. But also, while Rob is participating in a military challenge, choose a participating non-king character and stand that character and remove it from the challenge. So I mean, standing the character and removing it from the challenge is probably what makes him less favoured in decks. Although it is good for controlling the military challenge. You know, standing the character just means that character can be used in other challenges. Of course, you can overcommit with your own characters and take some of your own characters out. Perfectly viable. So we've got 7 gold from Pavel here. You're going to have to use them efficiently. Sieged by the guard on the northern armory. So that will trigger the Valyrian Steel agenda. He's gaining a gold. So he's making sure Cat can't withstand. It doesn't deal with the Rob Stark Ice situation. We know it's not the black cells that were in shadows now. I wonder if, I mean, there's a possibility, and this does happen, that he forgot that the Shadow Priestess cannot kneel a character with an attachment, which is maybe why he blanked the Northern Armory. And then perhaps he tried to kneel Rob. But we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Sorry, may I still play a dupe? Well, this is up to Pavel, who accepts it graciously.
Hello.
I certainly would have said no.
At
the start, player forgot to play a dupe.
Oops.
During the middle of Pavel's marshalling, and Pavel let him play it. I wouldn't have said yes. I would have said no.
It's very nice of them.
I know, it is a casual tournament and this game doesn't mean anything anymore.
I was going to say, this one doesn't really count towards the overall scores, does it?
No.
However, it's still nice to get a win for yourself, isn't it?
It is, yeah, and Pavel playing a strong agenda. So he's obviously looking for the win. Gerald taking a hit for the team and playing the White Book, which not one of the Stark's strongest agendas.
I can't even remember what White Book does.
I've already been through the whole thing on the stream once. I don't think I want to hear it again.
That's fine.
You just have to look at it on your phone. So we had the situation here with Gerald. He marshaled King Rob with ice, and that was it. Pavel played Seized by the Guard on the Northern Armory to stop something from restanding, and then played out the Shadow Priestess. Now, he knelt Caitlyn, but I wonder if he tried to kneel out Rob and then realised, damn, he's got an attachment, he's not an eligible character to be knelt. Because Shadow Priestess can only kneel something without attachment. So now he has left himself vulnerable.
Yeah, people quite often forget that, don't they?
They do. We all do. It's like raiding Longship as well. Everyone forget first player and without attachment.
I do find that there's a fair few decks nowadays that just don't bother with attachments or have very few attachments in them, and then you come up against another deck that, you know, likes that, and suddenly you think, oh shit, yeah, maybe I should put some in.
Yeah. So we have a military going through now with Rob. So potentially 2 clean with the ice. He could ice Alistair Florent, who will be ineffective because his leading player won't kneel at anyone on the Stark side.
Oh right, yeah, of course. Took me a moment to figure out what you meant then.
Oh, we might have a thing here. Alistair Florent's going to have a Warhammer.
Still not going to do anything there, right?
No.
At the moment.
At all. Because if ice kills Alistair Florent, that Warhammer's coming back to hand. So it would seem completely useless to do that. unless there's some other trick in play or something that I've not thought of.
Got to assume there's a master plan, right?
So he played that out to get it out of his hand so he could recoup the gold and play Scene in Flame. He's searching, I would expect, for all the winter is coming, which is there.
That's a pretty quick choice there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that would have got rid of most of the board.
Mm.
And Baratheon generally try to run Valar Dohaeris, which wouldn't have dealt with the Rob situation. The Pavel did not defend the challenge, so expect ice on Alistair. Claim of the Chud.
I'm surprised that it didn't try and at least chub block it.
I am also surprised.
I mean, it would at least stop the unopposed.
Yeah.
And then again, maybe he wants start play to have an unopposed power so that you can try and get something back, but...
He's definitely going to win the power challenge.
Mm. Yeah, actually that makes sense. Yeah,
Ice on the
just wants
Shadow
that unopposed.
Priestess. I find that interesting.
Oh. Is there a reason you couldn't kill Alistair?
I do not know. I don't understand.
Maybe just a mistake?
No, it wouldn't be a mistake. Yeah, I mean, maybe he's just thinking, I want to get rid of the intrigue challenger. Because now obviously Pavel had no intrigue presence.
Mm-hmm.
And King Rob does control the military challenge to a degree. Because I mean, he goes into a military challenge, he can kick out the opponent's characters.
Right.
Because King Rob has text.
Yeah, it's been a while. I don't remember his text. Sorry.
I'll just do this.
Thanks.
There is text.
I appreciate your efforts.
I would have left it up there, but Rob stood and moved away from the cursor.
That. That's alright, I'll let you off.
That's the bodyguard he's going to go in the marshalling phase, so Gerald will have money from that. But that ice did work. You know?
Mm-hmm.
That Scene in Flames was pretty important from Pavel.
Yeah, because obviously having one character left then also leaves you open to marched.
Mm.
I find it a lot harder commentating on games on the Iron Throne.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't follow it as well.
I'm going to increase the card size.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know why it keeps resetting to the smaller size.
No idea.
A bit weird, but
You know what I'm like with
I think the
technology.
resolution's a bit weird when it's this size. And the resolution is better when it's smaller, but that's not that important.
No, it's also a lot harder to see them than when they're smaller.
Unless, you know, you have eyes and spectacles.
Okay, so we have plots.
Wow.
What? Oh wow, okay.
So,
Firstly, let's just scroll down there. There we go. Awesome. So he's going to be helping out with Bob then?
that's pretty strong. So the White Sword plot by Gerald has thrown in Sir Barristan Selmy, big character. And on Pavel's side, we have Late Summer Feast being played to put Robert Baratheon onto the board, who's a king. Warring kings.
Brilliant. Doesn't that then just immediately... Oh, and a milk. Nice.
Milk on Rob, which will reduce his strength and obviously make sure he has no renown and no kick-out military challenge shenanigan. Gerald has yet to marshal Crescent to remove the milk.
Nice.
No?
I'm assuming Crescent just to remove annoying things that might come in.
Can't remove ice.
True. Is it conditions only?
Oh, Gerald's got the answer. He's got Sweet Sleep, blanking all other attachments attached to Rob.
Yeah, but can't Crescent just get rid of that?
No, it's not condition.
That's amazing. I like it. So sweet sleep is an item, which means that Crescent's ability cannot get rid of it. Nice. Wow. The Barra player must be like, yeah, I got this.
King
And then
Rob's like,
Stark's
no,
like,
actually.
no, you don't. I like it when that kind of stuff happens.
Do you?
Not to myself, then it's just really annoying, obviously.
So if you're Gerald, maybe you're looking at letting Baratheon have a few challenges through. Simply because Late Summer Feast is a good way to get some easy cards. And letting through a couple of challenges doesn't seem to be that painful. There won't be any intrigue challenges coming from the Baratheon player.
No, he does have a gold, and you might be able to use his agenda to throw something in, but
Pavel's now going to have to play around the white book. Because after you win a challenge, kneel your faction card to stand each defending King Guard character you control, which could be Barristan. And Gerald can do it on attack now, because he controls the King or Queen.
Nice.
So if Gerald attacks with Sir Barristan and Rob, he can kneel the faction card to stand Barristan. He also has Jane Westerling now, who can also stand Rob. So I've got a feeling those two are going to be going into challenges, and they'll be left standing by the end of the challenge phase, which means King Robert won't be so effective. Problem with Robert though, the Baratheon player has mainly full cost of load except Robert. So to stand his own board, he would have to allow the chuds to restand. So if Gerald just does leave Rob and Barristan standing after winning a challenge with them and triggering the agenda,
yeah, I see what
then
you're saying.
his littles are going to stand as well, and he's just going to have a fully stood board.
I guess it depends on, how well you can keep Sir Barristan and Rob standing by the end of the phase. I mean, I know there's tricks on the board there for them, but that still involves you, having to sacrifice a little bit of tempo on your side as well.
Yeah. Oh, I miss talking Thrones with you, Rebecca. I recorded my game earlier today and commentated the whole thing while I'm playing, and that was a little bit, boring because I'm just talking about my game.
What do you mean it was boring? It was great. In
And
the
then
background, you hear Elsie going, "Help me!
Help me, help me." Yeah.
I wasn't killing her, just to clarify. She's fine.
But then when I watched the game back afterward, I was so boring I fell asleep. I had no idea how boring I was. So then Rebecca had to wake me up.
Yeah, I know. We're going out for dinner and I was like, right, I need to get Elsie awake because Elsie's asleep. So I've got Elsie awake and then I go upstairs like, Richard, we're late, and you're just like asleep watching your own game. Like, wow.
How can I be asleep watching my own game?
Well, you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
Hanging off the bed, like with your phone on the floor. That must have been so uncomfortable.
I did have a stiff neck after.
A really weird position to be watching videos in. Alright, so I've got a military challenge coming in from the start player.
We do?
Oh, so Barra didn't even do any challenges.
Ooh. He only did a military with Rob, which is interesting, because if he does military with Rob and Barristan, he can use the agenda to stand Barristan, right?
Nobody forgot?
Well, I like to think a player of Gerald's calibre wouldn't forget. He does have two Northern Armories and Jane Westerling who can stand Rob, so...
Maybe he's planning on using the Northern Armories or something? Because he wants to... I don't know.
The only other thing I think of, even if he did stand Rob and Barristan and Pavel kills Alistair Florent, one of them would get nailed again. So Pavel got rid of Bob's dupe.
Okay, so it would appear that he's not running Valar. Stark does have dupes though, so I don't know. I'm always a bit wary about getting rid of all my dupes when my opponent's got a couple of dupes on the board, just in case.
I'm the same.
So going in for a power challenge next. I assume he's going to use his agenda then on the power with Barristan. He might
He's
just
going
want
to
it
go
to
with Barristan and Cat. Yeah, so the opponent can't trigger anything untoward. So he can't, trigger Valyrian Steel to throw in a strength boosting attachment. Because now Cat's in the challenge.
Yeah, I'm assuming he just wanted the agenda to make sure he won the power, whereas he wasn't as bothered with the military.
Yeah, winning the power challenge is obviously really good.
Yeah, power wins games, right?
Wins games, right?
Well, power and card draw.
Is Jane Westerling in any challenge action? Yeah, she is. I was just thinking if he went to dominant like this, he could still kneel Jane to stand Rob. You ever seen in Flames played a game? Getting rid of Sir Amonquoy.
I'm just thinking that doesn't look like a start card.
So, Pavel's used the agenda to throw in Long May He Reign.
Ooh, what's this one?
Which is like I say, so basically Robert cannot be killed. But after he loses a power challenge as the defending player, Long May He Reign gets discarded or sacrificed.
Okay.
So next time Gerald does a power challenge and Pavel loses, that attachment will go away. And Rob will be available to be killed again.
Oh, maybe he's doing it for protection from any Valar.
Yeah, probably. Or the fact that it's a 0 cost trigger and he can draw a card from his agenda from doing so. Pavel wins dominant. Gerald could have taken dominant. Obviously, if he used one of his Northern Armories.
Yeah.
But didn't feel like it at this point, so maybe he feels it's going to be important.
Looks like he's stopping the littles from standing.
Stopping the little from standing. So, do you think a Valar D is coming from Baratheon now? He'll save Crescent and Robert, get rid of Alistair, who will then kneel out whichever big remains standing.
I mean, that would make sense.
That's what I think was going to happen. So I think Barristan will go away in that case. And we'll see Rob and Jane Westerling saved. But nope. Head to the Iron Throne. Get rid of the kneeling Shire Errol.
Completely wrong. Oh, okay. So it could have a nice big.
Time of Plenty is a reasonable counter to a prospective Valar D. I always think it's better not to play the reset if you think it's the perfect time. If it's obvious, then don't do it. Save it for an extra round. Let your opponent play their counter first into your non-reset, then reset. Or if you can play a draw plot before you reset, even better. Delana Florent.
Nice. She's so annoying. She was in the game that we commented on the other day as well, wasn't she?
Yes. Yeah, she got nightmares.
Yeah, that one of nightmares in the deck that you had to use was it the City Gates to try and find it?
Yeah, an old game. You know what was amusing about that game? It's not only just before he played, he put 2 cards in his deck just in case he met Delena. One was the one of Nightmares, which he drew off the old gate randomly when he needed it, and the other was the one of Mira that he used earlier in the game to bring the full range.
So she was worth the inclusion then.
Yeah. So Delena Florent going to do some work.
Is the Northern Armory challenge action only?
It's
just
any
action. Cool. So if he wants to stun someone, he kind of needs to do it now, really.
Yeah, he's marshalling second, so he can make the choice on his own terms.
Fair enough.
It's when you're first player and your opponent's rushing through their marshalling action, and you want to use it, and then suddenly you're in the challenges phase.
Oh, nice. That's ridiculous, isn't it? That's just classic Barra. Like, every single one of the Barra characters are standing, and Stark only has one character still standing.
Stark of the faction would stand.
They are, but when Delena's on the board, it does make it a lot more difficult.
Yes.
Even 2 Northern Armories can't stand that whole board.
Delena is the quintessential anti-Stark card.
Mm.
You know, that's the card I expected to see a lot of. In my game, I didn't see it because Dennis Luke played basically a Brotherhood deck.
Okay.
So, I mean, Delena would have stopped a lot of my...
Yeah, I mean, I think if you know you're playing against Stark, I think Delena is an auto-include pretty much in any deck. Because she's extremely annoying against Stark.
Agreed. That looks like a really nice board from Valyrian Steel player.
Mm.
A she-bear. Interesting.
Yeah, we didn't have many options.
I definitely going on the she-bear because it'd be blank on Rob. Because Rob got sweet sleep, so it would be blank. Were you just waiting for him to marshal
I
on
know,
Rob?
for a split second I was like, oh my god, please, don't put it on the wrong person. I can imagine me doing that.
So we have some factors in play here. Gerald does need to use the armory now because he can't use it in the challenge phase because of Delena.
Mm-hmm. Do you think he'll remember that?
He's probably considering that now. He got 1 card in hand, 5 gold, so I imagine he's considering this.
Thing is, he might as well get rid of whatever it is the card is that he's got in hand because it's probably going to disappear anyway. It's like Intrigue Claim.
He's playing it. It's Mellion's Tomb.
Ah, that's the Intrigue one, right?
Okay, put that on Baratheon. And he is going to stand Cat.
Okay.
He's going to stand anything else?
Might want to save it a turn.
I see the pretty significant threat now. Because Gerald can win the military challenge. However, we've got Alistair, Florent, Delena and Robert who at the moment will not die.
Mm. I'd be very surprised if the Barra player doesn't manage to find some form of intimidate as well.
Intimidate?
Yeah, he's got Valyrian still, so...
He does have 1 of Warhammer, which we know is on Alistair Florent, which gives intimidate for a natural 5 strength character. So, but unfortunately for Alistair, only busts his strength.
Oh, is it just a 1 of?
Yeah, Valyrian Steel can only have 1 of each attachment.
Ah, I forgot that bit.
So I don't think there's anything else. There might be King Robert's Warhammer in the deck, which is a 1-off intimidate, unless you have Summer Hall. So Gerald opposes. I think I might have let that go, but I am not the perfect player, quite frankly.
Yeah, to be honest, I think I agree with you. I'd probably let that go.
Because
especially they use Cat to defend as well.
Yes.
Yeah, I might have saved her.
Pavel's not going to do a military challenge. So, intrigue or nothing. No point in doing an intrigue unless you really want the unopposed power.
Kind of depends what your plans are on keeping things nil, right?
Pavel's got to make sure he wins the power challenge, otherwise he loses long may he reign. Whilst that might not be an issue, there might not be no Morghulis, there might be 2 Daenerys to be played. You know, he probably just doesn't want to lose things like that. So yeah, no military challenge and no intrigue challenge. It would seem.
Just very slowly inching back up the power there, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, the Stark player can trigger ice. But what do you trigger on?
I guess you can't kill...
Can't do anything to Bob.
Probably Mel then? She's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, maybe. Question is, if VD's coming next round from one of these players, does it matter?
Well, it stops Mel from being played again, doesn't it? If
Might
you're
do.
VDing.
But I haven't
Bring her
seen
back.
loads of Valor in this deck.
I saw the Priestess. Isn't Florent?
Priestess trigger themselves. Flaunt is, but we haven't seen any fiery followers, no red priests, no acolytes of the flame.
No. Seen in Flames also trigger it.
Seen in Flames, though, not heavy Valor. They trigger themselves. So she might not even be that much in the deck. I did play a deck in preparation for this matchup, a Barrow deck, and I played the Barrow against the other person's start, and they milked Mel, and they were like, ha 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 ha, and I'm thinking, I should have won of in the deck, this isn't a Mel deck. And then I'm, so she can be a red herring. So, bodyguard on Mel.
There we go. I know there must be something. Well, Valor M looks a lot more acceptable on the Barrow side now.
Definitely. Robert opposes. I imagine ice is not going to get triggered.
Don't know, depends if you're expecting a reset next turn. You might want to just trigger it and...
If you don't trigger it, it comes back to hand.
True.
Needless to say, this is the third round, and last round you think the start player maybe is in a bit of control. This round you would say the Baratheon player is in control. They definitely have the better going throughout this challenge phase.
Yeah, I think when you get that. Ooh. What does that mean?
He tried to trigger Rob.
To do what, sorry?
Stand and remove from the challenge.
Right. And why couldn't he?
Should I remove She-Bear? So basically, he's trying to stand and remove someone from the challenge. They can't stand because they're Lena, so he's just removing someone from the challenge. Pavel's right, it doesn't matter. Because even if he removes She-Bear, she'll still be knelt, and he'll win 7-5 instead. He just won't be able to trigger ice. Pavel want him to trigger ice. Yeah, keep it in the challenge. It's all good.
What were the costs?
What the what?
Where it says like cancel the resolution of Rob Stark, costs were still paid.
Oh right, so he triggered it and he said, well, he chose the participating king character, which was the cost. So he chose She-Bear.
Oh,
and then he counted it because he couldn't stand it and remove it from the challenge.
I see.
So he sacrificed ice to kill Delena Florent, which is curious. And a duplicate was taken from Alistair Florent.
Oh, okay. Now it's looking more valuable.
Yeah. I guess. Depends on who's going to stand, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming they'll let the little stand. Because why would you let Robin... Oh, okay.
Because he's going to play VD, perhaps?
Yeah.
I don't think he is, but he might. He might do. He'll get the bodyguard back. Alistair will kneel out one of the bigs, whichever remains, so the VD player is still...
Yeah, VD actually would be a good idea here.
It's still playable now. It's a good time to reset for Barrow, I think, because Stark has no cards in hand.
That's a very quick choosing of the plots as well, so...
Does it intimidate you if someone does that against you?
Doesn't intimidate me, but it's like, oh, okay, they know what they're playing.
What about in real life? When they just go, yep, click. And then you're just looking at what plots have I got? I can't remember. Oh, I've got this, I've got marched, I've got... Oh, the opponent looking at me expectantly.
To be honest, in real life, I'm too busy sort of like just focusing what I'm doing. Okay, these were not the plots I was expecting at all. So forced march into wildfire.
We have a reset.
That is not the reset I was expecting.
So Pavel's going to kill Alistair, Crescent, and the bastard.
Oh, so the forced march is a little bit different, isn't it? It's reworded.
Yeah.
So instead of doing it one by one, you choose as many as you want, and then they must choose.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So
I guess
I think Joe will probably go into Neil Barristan and Neil Robert, but then Alistair Florent's going to die and Neil Robb. So we'll just be left with Nelt Board along with a standing Delena and Melisandre. Gerald going first, which means he's going to control this order. He may prefer to make wildfire trigger fair. He doesn't, so he does what we thought he was going to do.
Yeah, so he's kneeling Sebaristan, which means that Bob's going to kneel because he's the only option.
Kneel before your King's Guard, Robert.
Your dog. And then, guessing Alice is going, which will kneel out Rob. Since I need a minute to think. I mean, on Stark's side, I'm assuming... Oh, okay, that's not what I was expecting.
Rob, Jane and Catelyn. So he gets rid of the Barristan.
I'm really surprised by that.
Barristan has Malian Tome, which is now going to be recited on Rob.
Yeah, I'm really surprised he did that, because it's not like Jane's standing to be able to stand Rob, if that makes sense.
So we have a potential error on it. It allows me to choose Robert. You're choosing characters to be saved. Yeah, you kill each character that isn't chosen, so you don't choose Robert.
Would that work?
No. No, basically, Pavel will choose, for example, Melisandre, Crescent, and Delena, and then Rob just won't die.
I'm wondering if Barrow's got it muddled up. I'm wondering if he's thinking if he needs to choose the people to kill.
Pavel knows the cards by now. He's undefeated. So there we go. It worked as thought. So he didn't choose Robert, and Robert doesn't die. Completely forgot about the Long May He Reign. Extremely good in the wildfire, because Robert can't die.
Yeah. Cannot be saved then.
Well, he can't be killed.
So how does cannot be saved? Oh, because he just can't die at all. So it's not like you're saving him, he just can't die.
Correct.
Ah, okay.
He's not even eligible for a save because he ain't going to die.
Gotcha. I'm just thinking, don't worry listeners, I'm here to help you with all the stupid ideas that might pop into your head. I'm probably the one to voice them.
We've got another Northern Armory, which is
nice.
Extremely convenient. And he's going to stand his board.
Oh, what's he going to stand with the other one?
Catelyn.
I'd be really tempted to hold off though until Barrow's at least marshalled one card.
Here comes Malian Tome. Oh, his first card was a Rose Road. Not really what you want to top deck. A Rose Road in the Northern Armory.
Not ideal. Yeah, the risk now is that Barrow player is able to play a law card.
You've got plenty of options, plenty of gold.
Yeah.
Warhammer marshalled nothing. Robert, draw the card. I think the Barrow train is rolling now. You haven't had a reset from Stark yet. White Book does 1 resets, right?
I have absolutely no idea. I don't know if I've ever even played it.
I'm going to look on the internet at DB Whitebook decks and see if Whitebook decks run reset. I imagine Wildfire are probably quite common. What do you think?
Sure, we'll go with that.
I know you're checking your phone as well. Are you doing the same thing?
I was actually going to go on the YouTube and see if anyone was writing comments that I've just not been paying attention to.
That's a good idea.
That's okay, there's only 2 people watching.
Yay! And at least 4 people will watch it after the game.
That's okay, people are watching, they're having a good old chat.
I like
Hey
it.
guys, sorry I weren't paying attention to you.
So Valar Morghulis we've got in a Tyrell White Book. We've got the First Snow of Winter in Lanny White Book.
Oh, don't know who that would be at this time of night.
Valar D and the First Snow in Martell White Book. So a varied amount. Random interloper knocking on our door. Don't they know it's my house? Everyone's unwelcome in my house.
Hello. You right there?
Yep.
You're scrolling through all the comments.
Yeah, I'm just looking at some of these comments. Nice. Miha says, come on, let's concentrate on the current game. No one wants to hear that. What were we talking about Miha's game against Connor where he lost with the...
You're just going to bring it back
with
up
the
again?
Eddard.
Sorry,
I was just talking.
Was it the nightmares, the random nightmares?
The nightmare, yeah. And the one-off mirror. Classic.
He was such a troll. Oh, here we go. So we've got a power challenge with 9 strength. We're probably going for it.
I did note Miha said overall that optimistic that overall wins won't be vital in the end. Of course, Dark are going to beat Martell and Tyrell, and it's going to be a 6-1 victory, and then it's not going to matter. Sorry about that, guys, but it's my world, and you're just playing in it.
God, you come out with some bullshit sometimes.
I do, don't I? I'm sorry. I've had a few too many drinks today.
Of tea.
Yeah.
And a
Long
Coke.
may he reign is being sacrificed.
Wait, what? Isn't that the one that's keeping him alive?
Oh yeah, no, I mean he's not worried about dying as such, is he?
Oh, because of the power challenge thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I looked at the Whitebook decks online, and it seemed like a veritable cornucopia of different resets I played. First Snow, Valar D, Valar M, Wildfire.
There you go. So it looks like they do run resets. Maybe we'll see
He's
in the
looking
next
at
round.
Pavel's hand now, with Mellion's Tome. You know what Mellion's Tome is?
The one that gives them an intrigue icon?
Do you know what it is in the books?
No.
It's that ponderous tome which Ned looks at to find the
all
lineage.
the names and things.
That's right, yeah. And discovers that Joffrey is indeed a bastard of incest.
Oh, we've got a Spears.
Spears saved Mel for another kneel, but Mel is a bodyguard. He can just not trigger it, I guess. But I think Spears might be used on a Bob if there was a reset. Or
The fact the Stark player has kept dupes on their 2 characters is
it's
very
a bit sus,
suspicious.
isn't it? Bit sus.
That's very Valaremi.
Falaremi.
It's definitely a phrase.
Is that one word?
Sure.
Alright, we're rolling now. We've got challenges going on, power challenges, military challenges, probably an intrigue challenges.
Hunting accident.
Nasty.
Oh, I hate playing against it, but sometimes the Baron Neal stuff is quite like horrible but fun to play with if you are the person playing with it.
I am currently of the
against it.
opinion that Baratheon are one of the most fun factions to build decks with.
And one of the worst ones to play against?
No, I don't mind playing against Baratheon.
Yeah?
As a start player,
Oh, yeah.
I don't particularly mind it so much. But I do think they have a lot, could have had
Oh,
so
there we
many
go.
unviable builds. You know, Baratheon, they've been bad for so long. Bar attacks, all that shit.
They did start off quite well, though. Back in the old days.
They did, they were all in core, but then the core set deck didn't change for like 4 years. I mean, maybe it had a moon boy in it sometimes. And once or twice I saw City
there
Watch.
they all go. There they all go.
Yeah, Beards of the Merlin King meant Robert came back to hand. He's
Yeah.
going to be able to afford Robert as well. Got plenty
Is he?
of economies.
Oh, yeah, of course, that's the case with the moon, isn't it? So that's 2, 3, 4.
He's going to get
That's
8.
the plot. Yeah, it's just about 4 to put Bob back out. And it's not like he has to worry about any claim on the comeback.
Hand Judgment, Great Hall, Sweet Sleep, and Alistair Florent. Is Alistair dead? I think he is dead, didn't he? He died to the wildfire.
Yeah.
13 cards in hand. Versus 2. I think the game may have spiralled out of the control of the Stark player.
I think the Stark needs to have had a very, very good draw here. But the problem is, with the Stark player going first, whatever they marshal, I mean, Paladin's got a hand of 13. There's a good chance they're going to have a...
Pavel got
Law in there.
options, yeah. Oh dear. Mag the Mighty has left the game. He's called it in his own mind.
It means in the win.
Yeah. I'm not watching any more of this.
I
What?
find it so confusing that we have like people's actual names, their thrones names, and their Discord names, and like I can't keep track of who's who. I have no idea who's playing right now.
Basically, you need to sort of put some time and effort into memorising these things.
Yeah, but everyone's got like 3 names.
Yeah, I can remember all 3 of your names.
I hope so.
Good. Well, why can't you remember mine?
I know them.
Yeah, what are they?
Richard,
Yeah,
Hagar,
yeah.
your secret account, which I won't say on
I've
stream.
got 4 secret accounts.
4?
Yeah. But I get loyal fans screaming and crying when they play me. Oh, we wanted to play you, Richard. I'm like, go
Oh,
away.
you're such a weirdo. You're such a weirdo. You really are.
I've been told this.
What, that you're a weirdo?
Yes.
Oh, red keep, nice. Yeah, you needed more card draw. And taking the Arya's gift out of the hand. Interesting that that's the character they chose to play.
Interesting that he didn't play the Arya's gift. Could have just moved his, moved the milk over to someone else, or moved the sweet sleep to.
Is it a challenge?
Cat
No, just an action.
It would have been quite funny. Doesn't really matter though.
Yeah, I think we're going to get a bit of a rush from Barra here then.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Gerald called it. He'd probably wait until the next round.
Yeah, just see what your draw is
Yeah.
and what the next plot is. But depending on what it is, he might just call it. To be fair, like you said, it doesn't matter too much for Stark now. It's nice to have that personal win, but it doesn't really matter to Stark as a team.
We appreciate Gerald's commitment to playing a bad agenda for our faction. Like Miha says, overall win may matter at the end of the tournament, but sacrificing the bad agenda so we can play a good agenda against Tyrell or Martell is probably more important at this stage. So, yeah, cheers, Gerald. Pavel didn't bother doing that for his team. He thought, fuck Barra. I'm playing a good agenda because my stats are more important.
Well, maybe he only has good agendas to choose from.
Barra got some real stinkers still to use.
Really? You're keeping track.
Actually, I think Barra's agendas aren't too bad. They do have one or two that are less than optimal, but
Are people actually keeping track of what agendas everyone's got left?
well, you have
Is
to,
that a thing?
because if you use an agenda twice, oh, there are repercussions, Rebecca.
Yeah, but you're looking at other people's agendas and.
You can see anyone's
Oh
agenda.
no! Look at this.
What am I looking at?
Political disaster.
No, this is fun.
It is.
Oh, into trade routes. That is fun. Everyone loved the PD into trade routes.
Oh dear.
Banter from Gerald here.
Yeah, at least Rob stood.
And Rob stood, yeah. What attachment does Rob have? What did I miss? Motley. That's nice. But Gerald probably not going to have many cards in hand.
I was going to say, he's just going to play everything out that he can, isn't he? Okay, so he's got 3 cards in hand. One of them was the attachment that was on Melisandre, which, what was it?
Melisandre?
Not Melisandre, sorry. Okay, Catelyn.
Oh, Malian Tome.
Was that Malian's Tome? Cool.
You're going to have to put that on Tumblestone Knight.
Why not?
Yeah, very intriguing Tricon Knight there. Maybe he's got Winter is Coming in hand and he's just going to be like, yeah, I'm going to kill your Red Priest to get my Eyes gift back. Get Nell Busseley.
Oh my god.
Lady Balm.
That's brilliant, I love it.
That's GG.
Come on, I think that's what you call it, right?
Yeah, I can't do anything else now. 3 unopposed challenges with power claim. It is
there
good
we
game.
go.
Congratulations, Pavel. Very nice. Nicely done. Good win. Commiseration, Gerald. It was fun to watch. But now it's going to be even more fun to not watch. So, on that note, we're going to say goodbye.
Okay.
Would you like to say goodbye, Rebecca?
Sure. Goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys and gals, but mainly guys because 100% of our viewers are white males in between the age of 25 and 44. So, goodbye.
Bye.